I wanted to make a quick video here to bring you a strategy if you're looking to purchase a home right now, but you've been hesitant due to higher interest rates. Keep in mind, with the higher rates, we have slowed down the pace of purchasing, but inventory is still tight. And I'm going to let Barry Habib, he's one of our industry experts that talks to us a lot about interest rates and home supply and the impact on the market and prices and things like that. I'm going to let him break a few things down for you. And then after that, I'm going to show you some examples of how you can pay full asking price, but get a lesser payment, a lower monthly payment than if you asked the seller to reduce their price. So I'm going to shut up here for a minute and let Barry do his thing.
That it does hurt so good to see these interest rates up here, but it can be an opportunity. A home buyer today that's looking at a higher interest rate may get discouraged. But look, if you can qualify, if you get creative by using buy down tools, permanent buy down, you qualify at that start rate, obviously, and then you could bring that rate to a level where they can qualify for more home. You put that individual in a position where they can now get a discount. They can now get a seller contribution to pay for those points for them. This is a very big key because, look, let's just use some round numbers here. On a $400,000 mortgage, if you're going to pay 1% higher in rate, that's roughly $257 a month, roughly. Now, that's a little over $3,000 over the course of the year, but there's a high probability that you're going to refinance that. You could probably get a discount on the home that you could use the seller contribution for, 2%, 3% right now in that range. Remember Case Shiller saying 2.7% drop. So you're looking at an opportunity to purchase that home today. And then, as I want to show you here, inventory is so tight that when rates do come down, remember, for every 1% drop in mortgage rates, 5 million potential buyers, nowhere near that will actually buy, but 5 million potential buyers enter now with the ability to qualify. So this does give a reason to believe that, look, if you believe all the things we've been saying about interest rates coming down because inflation's coming down, lower mortgage rates into sometime later this year, into the summer, there's going to be a lot more buyers that enter the market, and inventory is really tight. I want to show you just how tight inventory levels are. So I'm pulling up a slide here that I want to share with you. We know that the numbers for home inventory showed 980,000 inventory. That was from the NAR. But as we see here, 402,000 of them are currently under contract. Notice the large percentage about this. More than 40% of inventory is already under contract. And what does that tell us? That's actual listings available, just 578,000. How does that compare? Well, here's where we are. And while it's not the all-time low, which was crazy, and what's happening to prices here, it is half, maybe less than half of what we have been accustomed to as far as listings that people need to purchase a home. You get a drop in rates that we think is going to happen. The time to take advantage of the opportunity is now. So higher rates, while they hurt, it could be so good because this could be an opportunity. This could be your friend.
Okay, so what does Barry mean by being your friend? So I've got an example here laid out where you have a $200,000 home for sale and you go in there and say, you know what, I'm not going to give you $200,000, I'm going to give you $194,000. So they're going to knock $6,000 off the price of the home. Well, if you were to have written a contract on that home and came on Friday and said, I need to borrow 80% of $194,000, the rate would have been 7.375, and that would have given you a principal and interest payment of $1,071.93. However, if you would have offered the seller the full asking price of $200,000 and said, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, would you be willing to give me 3% seller concession? So 3% of $200,000 is $6,000. They're still going to get the sale of $194,000 when it's all done on paper because they're going to give you the $6,000. And you used the $6,000 to buy your rate down, then you're going to have a payment of $985.15. So you use the $6,000, you buy from 7.375 down to 6.250. That's a monthly savings of $86.78. Okay, that's a big deal in the payment. And let's look at what it's going to save you in interest over 15 years. Now, if you took the lesser price, you got it at $194 at 7.375, you're going to pay $154,270 in interest over 15 years. And if you got the gave them the full asking price, but a concession, a seller give back, so to speak, to help you buy your rate down. In 15 years, you would have paid 132,222 in interest, and that's a savings of $22,048. So you paid more for the price of the home, but in the overall payments that you're going to make back to the bank, you've paid $22,000 less in 15 years. Now we can take it one step further and say, well, we don't need the 8678 in our family budget. Let's do something smart with it, and let's drive it back into the principal on the house. So you'll end up with the same payment you would have had on the $194,000 purchase price at 7 3/8, because you're going to take the savings with the lower rate and pile it back on top in the form of a principal payment, a principal reduction. Then you're only going to pay $122,061 in interest over 15 years, and you're going to pay the house off in 24.17 years versus 30 years in the other two scenarios. So there's lots of different ways to still get you into a home, if you qualify, that is going to make good financial sense for you. And then if rates don't come down, let's say to the mid fives for a year and a half, great, you paid 6.25. So even though you paid $6,000 more for the house, you saved $86.78 a month, and then when rates come back down again, you can go ahead and refinance. So I hope that made sense. Don't sit on the sidelines because the news has got you convinced that this high interest rate just doesn't make sense for you to buy a home. If you qualify, buy the house. As he demonstrated in his video, inventory is only going to get tighter as rates come back down again, because people are psychologically going to come off the sidelines and say, okay, I've got to jump back in again for fear of missing out. Where you can be smart, get the home now, because when the competition comes off the sidelines, it's going to drive the price of the home up again, and the seller's not going to be willing to back down off the price of the home or give you a seller concession. In fact, now it's just going to be a simple supply and demand issue, and the $200,000 house may become a $206,000 or $210,000 house, just because people are willing to pay over asking because they've got to move. So anyway, I hope this information was valuable to you and it made sense. I know I kind of talked a little fast to go through the numbers, but if you have any questions at all, just send me a message or drop a message in the comment section below the video, or send me a direct message. Happy to reach out to you and run some numbers for you. Aaron with Churchill Mortgage. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye-bye.